Good afternoon. Welcome to the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful, sunny, and comfortable confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I want to thank you for wherever you're listening and for wherever you may be, whether on your commute to work, to and from, picking the kids up. I know some of us in the tri-state area had half a days for parent-teacher conferences. So just, taking your time out to listen, wherever you may be, thank you. And again, I appreciate it. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Having said that, like I said, I took a bit of a breather yesterday to kind of give you guys myself some time to kind of relax and recoup a little bit. Today, I'm kind of chronologizing the games from Sunday going into today and, NBA wise and what I think. A lot of content, a lot of stuff that I kind of went over when I watched the games and just notes I jotted down, but just give you a bit of my synopsis. We're going to start off with the Mavericks versus the Clippers. This game was an utter damn blowout, waste of time by all standards. No Kawhi Leonard, should have been no problem for the Mavericks, but clearly it's a problem because their bench, which is something we all have highlighted all damn season long, their bench is horrible. I mean, one of the worst performances of the year they showed in a playoff game. I'm looking. You had no answer for Zubac. 28 points, 8 assists, dominated just dominated. They had no answer for their interior. The Mavericks have problems. The Mavericks have legitimate problems. If you knew they were going to struggle a bit with the bench. You knew Harden, Westbrook, you knew these guys were going to do some things that were going to cause problems for them on the bench scoring-wise. If you can't stop Zubac. Anyway, that being said, shout out to Westbrook as well. Quiet 13 points, 4 rebounds, but he definitely made his presence felt and known. James Harden, too, as well. Shout out to James Harden. But, I must, say that with a grain of salt because we all know James Harden is good for about 2 games a series, and then he just goes back into that vortex of fuckery where he just disappears, and all ability of his and all game that he's learned over the past, 20 years of his basketball life has just disappeared, and he just becomes an ass mediocre player again. So he'll probably disappear. We may see him again in this series. Who knows? But being that the way the Mavericks bench is, hell, he should feast. This is bad, y'all. This is bad. I really need y'all to really understand. This is bad. 28 points. That's James Harden, y'all. And this is him just coming off the bench doing what he do. They got problems. And Zubac had 20 points. Harden had 28 points. Going forward, Luka Doncic, like I said, 33-13. I give Luka so much props. And him and Kyrie, Kyrie 31 points. I give them both props because they did everything they were supposed to. Everything you wanted your stars to do. What it boils down to, though, plain and simply, is they fucking don't have enough help. Like the Mavericks bench was horrible. And even if they play it well enough for a couple games throughout this series, Kawhi's coming back. Paul George looks healthy. I don't know if y'all saw, and I just mentioned it, Westbrook looked good. Harden's going to have at least possibly one more game like this during this series. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Mavericks respond. I don't know if they necessarily have all the horses in the stable to attack this team and prepare to beat them the way they thought they possibly would have, because they're definitely going to have to change their approach. But having said all that, leads me into Bucks versus Pacers next. This series, all regular season, everybody wanted to talk about how bad the Bucks were doing and how the Pacers had their number and the Pacers were going to ensure that they give the Bucks a challenge and that the Bucks may get swept in the first round. They may lose in the first round. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. This is the Dame Lillard I thought would show up. This is the Bucks team that I thought would show up. If they do this at least half of this series, they're going to win in 6. If they do it all of this series, they'll win in 5. The Pacers, their interior defense was fucking Charmin. Think of Charmin tissue. Think of how pliable, how loose, and just, yes, that was their interior defense. It was horrible. They did nothing to stop. Brook Lopez got whatever he wanted. You got Bobby Portis flying through the lane, doing layups. It was bad. It was bad. Dame, looking like Portland Dame from 2 years ago. You're just like, where in the hell is the defense? Non-existent. Pacers, you're going to get your ass swept if you don't step up defensively. You're not going to contend with this team. Everybody believed the hype. Oh, well, they're struggling. It's the regular season. The postseason's now here. They know now. Now the real basketball is being played. Sorry, not sorry, but they got to get it together. Indiana, it's not enough. It's a bad performance all around. They shot the 3-ball horribly, and then Tyrese Halliburton, 9 points in 38 minutes. I'm gonna tell you something now. And with all due respect to the boy, because I think Tyrese can fucking flat out ball. You did a lot of talking about this all-star, appearance. You did a lot of talking about how you felt you leaving Sacramento was dirty and all this. Playing like that in the postseason, don't give anybody any damn qualms or regrets. I can tell you that. That's Tobias Harris type numbers in the postseason. That's atrocious. Much more is required. Much more is expected. I do believe he will step up. I do believe he's going to have 2 or 3 more games this series where he's going to give you 30 and great 3-point shooting. But that performance to start out the gate, Anyway, shout out to Pascal Siakam, who I actually, full disclosure, y'all, I kind of forgot he was on the Pacers, but Pascal 36 and 13. Again, needed help, didn't get it, just flat out didn't get it. Shout out to the Bucks bench, preferably, and I want to highlight Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton. You guys consistently were there for your team, whether it was 3-point shooting, interior play, mid-range. You guys were there for your team. Shout out to you both. Credit to the way that you guys just prepared for this game. And, if that, like I said, that type of defense, if they play that defense the rest of this series is over. I don't know if they'll be able to carry the shooting the way they did, but the defense, that's something that can stick with you. Yeah, and to finish up with the Pacers and Bucks, the Pacers much do better in the paint, offensively and defensively. There's no way you're going to beat this team if you don't get stops on the defensive end and you don't start scoring in the paint. When they started scoring on the interior, at that point the game was just it was fucking out of hand at that point. There was no need for you to even worry if you were Milwaukee. It's like just keep doing what you're doing. It's over. So anyway. To finish up my coverage on my Sunday games that we're going to touch on Magic versus Cavaliers. This is another one where Donovan Mitchell, quite frankly, is just the best player on the floor. No disrespect to Paolo Banchero. I thought Paolo Banchero, within the next year or two, he probably will be past where Donovan Mitchell is at. But right now, Donovan Mitchell is the X factor, and they don't really, speaking for the Magic, they don't really have an answer for him. And to make things even worse, the game plan that the Magic have had defensively, oh my God. I mean, it's remarkable. It's remarkable. I mean, I've literally have watched, you're sitting here and they're denying the paint from the Magic. They're literally telling the Magic, hey, listen, do something from 3, do something from mid-range. You're not scoring in the interior. And the Magic just don't have an answer. It's a combination of being too young and not enough experience. It's just, and it's going to cost them. I'll be honest with you. They possibly pull out one game. This could possibly easily be a sweep. It could just be one of those things where it's like experience over youth. And, remember, y'all, the Cavaliers are playing the team that the Sixers are playing now in the postseason. I'll get to that game in a second. But Cavaliers are playing the Knicks. That was a much harder, grittier defensive series. You look at the series they're having this year, my God, Donovan Mitchell's getting whatever he wants. He's running up and through the lane. He's hitting threes. They're getting Isaac Okoro in on it. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are just having their way with the boards. Like there's nobody defending them or trying to, it's just one of those things where I just feel like the Magic, too young, and that inexperience is going to cost them in this series. Having said all that, yeah, it's getting to a point where it's looking like it's a strong chance it could be a sweep. Strong chance. Franz Wagner showed up again, 18.7 rebounds. Gary Harris, 14 points. You're down by 20 at one point. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. Like, no matter what I'm saying, no matter, I really honestly thought, getting more bench production probably would help the Magic. they don't have any answer for Donovan Mitchell. They don't have any answer for their interior offense. And it's 2 games in. You're down 0-2, and you still haven't solved how the hell you're going to score 2 points in the paint. So, very interesting to see going forward how that plays out. Leads me into and I'm full disclosure, my 2 favorite series this postseason in the first round. 2 favorite series are Knicks and Sixers and Lakers and Nuggets. I feel like that's just been the best basketball games this postseason so far. Highly touted, physical games. Having said all that, we're going to start with Sixers-Knicks. Whoa, boy. I mean, hell of a game again. I mean, just one of those games again. Old school Eastern Conference playoffs basketball where it's just physical. It's a fight, shot for shot, tit for tat, elbow for elbow, center, back to the basket. Fighting for rebounds, fighting for the extra, defensive ball, on the loose ball on the floor, the extra steal. Credit to both teams are playing their asses off in this series. Having said all that, Tyrese Maxey, I gave this boy credit in the last analysis I gave in this series. Speaking on game 1, Tyrese Maxey, and I said it again, I'll keep repeating myself till y'all fucking hear me. He has the capability to take a game over by himself. 35, 10, and 9. And that's in spite, and that's still having Embiid somewhat cognizant and playing well enough to score and rebound on the floor, and he did that. Shout out to Joel Embiid as well. Bulky knee not as strong as it possibly needs to be. You clearly see on the defensive end with some of the blocks and the rebounds, he's not where he needs to be as far as agility and that spring in it, and I'm pretty sure it's still causing him hell. But another great game from him as well. It just reminds me of it being a kid again, watching these games, watching these old Knicks playoff games, watching these old Sixers playoff games, dog fights. That's what they were. And like I said, it's just, we've been entertained, and I've been entertained. And if you're a fan of pure basketball, you've loved this game, this series. Having said that, Dante DiVincenzo, brother, I got to give you your roses, man. I mean, most people are going to talk about the shot he hit late. And that was crucial, yes. That definitely helped with the dagger, the nail in the coffin. But he not only helped with changing the outcome of the game, but he helped winning it as well. And what do I mean? I'll be specific. Dante DiVincenzo at the 34-second mark, we're talking fourth quarter, 34-second mark, gets the steal. And because of that, then he assists to Brunson, who hits the 3. That steal was so crucial. If Philadelphia scores in that possession, we're talking about a completely different outcome. Defense. And I want to make sure I make myself clear. Any Knicks fans out there listening, anybody who's a Tom Thibodeau fan, just loves his coaching style, now you fucking see why they got Tom Thibodeau. You see now why Tommy T is there. I don't understand. I get it. He runs guys into the ground. He runs a hard system. He kind of wears on you. Damn it. The Knicks look like a totally different team this year compared to a year ago, years past. They look totally different. They look physical. They look agile. They look ready. They are ready for the shit. And I give them credit. Well-coached team. Defense has been crucial for them. Maxey, I'm going to touch on this a little bit in the Lakers game, with the foul that wasn't a foul that didn't get called. Maxey was fouled at the 23-second mark, y'all. And I know this is when people who watch this and disagree with me who probably feel like, I'm tripping. And that's okay. Again, I implore you to disagree with me. I don't need you to always agree because I know what the hell I saw. I know damn good and well I saw that man go up for the ball, have the ball, get it taken from him, go up for it, get hit, falls to the ground, referee swallowed the whistle, and then it was turnover. Change of possession. It was just bad. I get it. They swallowed their whistle. It's the postseason. I get it that they're not necessarily trying to make sure that they're having too much of an impact on the game. That being said, and I've made the same argument when it comes to football. Don't fucking call these penalties in the regular season, and then in the postseason, they don't even exist. Because now I'm going to look at you and say, you're wasting our damn time, energy, and money and attention span by doing this shit. So, be that as it may, I know why, though. He just hasn't earned that call yet. And it's no disrespect to Tyrese Maxey. LeBron went through this. Kobe went through this. Shaq. All players that play at a high level of some degree, they go through it where they just, remember, y'all, there was a time James Harden wasn't getting that call. So, I give it to him, and again, Tyrese Maxey is giving Daryl Morey, calm and refuge, knowing, phew, I got off that damn James Harden. I got somebody that can produce, and it's actually giving me more than what James Harden was doing. So, credit to Maxey, but more importantly, shout out to the Knicks again. DiVincenzo hitting that clutch 3-point shot late in the game. Hartenstein, crucial block on Maxey late because that layup there, he hits that. I believe that brings it to a 1 or 2 point game. A lot can happen there. Defense again, and I want to make sure that I touch emphasis on this again because I highlighted this in game 1. I want to highlight this in game 2. If I'm Daryl Morey, I'm doing everything in my power to ensure that I provide this, that Maxey and Embiid have a bench starting next season. Because it's too late now. It's too fucking late now to make any adjustments or make any real changes. But I stress emphasis to you. The bench has been atrocious for the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not sure if they need home cooking. I'm not sure if they just need an extra body. I'm not sure if they need a 2K ratings boost. I don't know what the hell they need, but they need something. I mean, I'm looking at this right now. Batum, Hield, and Paul Reed. 3 different basketball players, 3 different men combined for 10 points. That's what your bench gave you. It's nowhere near the fuck enough. And if you're Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, more importantly, you're Nick Nurse, I'm commanding more. Commanding more. Tobias Harris, still stealing money. 10 points. Still at it again. 10 points. It's not enough. It's not enough. You're trying to win a playoff series. You disappearing. It's not even like they're taking him out of the series. You're just not hitting shots. So, yeah. Hey, they're going to have their hands full. The Knicks, like I said, Knicks are doing what they're supposed to. 5 guys in double figures. And you can't even get more than 10 points from your bench if you're the 76ers. Knicks showed up, man. Like I said, credit to them. They up 2-0, and it's going to be a very hard task. Now, the series is going back to Philly, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Maybe some home cooking will help the Sixers, but it's going to be very interesting to see. Which this now will lead me into my other favorite game in this postseason, as I explained to you earlier, Lakers versus Nuggets. I want to start off, great game all the way through. It was down to the wire, but I want to stress emphasis, and I want to start off by saying this. D'Angelo Russell, another classic John Starks moment. Y'all see game 1, shit the bed, didn't really give you much. Game 2, 7 made threes, 7 for 11 from 3, 23 points. I mean, if he just gave you that more consistently, this guy would be a perennial all-star. But, whatever. Shout out to D-Lo for showing up because you did way better than you did in game 1. Way better. 7 threes was crucial. And the Lakers needed all of them. All 7 of those threes. Having said that, where the fuck is the Lakers bench? I mean, I've been hearing all second half of the season by they start putting it together. The bench is coming together. Guys are starting to make it happen. And you ain't get jack shit out of them. So I'm just, like I said, I'm very interested to see that. And if at all the bench will show up, because I don't know if they know or not. They're down 2-0. Now, it's going back to L.A., but it can end in L.A. too. So, that being said, 80 and LeBron again. I mean, 80, 32, and 11. 80 showing up this series. I've had no qualms with Anthony Davis. He's done exactly what he was supposed to do this year. LeBron, and I know some of y'all probably like, oh, LeBron. I need y'all to really realize at 38 years old, damn near 39, he's still producing. All over the floor, getting blocks, getting steals, making dunks, making layups, hitting crucial shots. It's just not enough, LA. Lakers fans, I'm sorry. Those of y'all that I know and love, those of y'all that are maybe listening, it's not enough. It's not enough. AD and LeBron are playing magnificent, and you're just, the production from the bench has been, non-existent. LeBron, 26, 12, and 8, damn near triple-double. But again, where's my Austin Reeves? Where's my Hachimuras? Where's my Dinwiddie's? Where are these guys that are supposed to be stepping up in these moments? Disappearing again. Which leads me into the most startling moment. Before I touch on the Nuggets take and my views, the most startling thing that really got me, that really kind of touched me and has me a bit perplexed is, how in the blue hell were you up by 20 points in the third quarter and you lost this game? But I can tell you, some people, some of you guys out there probably have Darvin Ham jokes. I'm not going to really blame this too much on Darvin Ham. I'm really going to say, to a testament, really honest to God truth, that what it comes down to is Jamal Murray has been the X factor in this series. The Lakers have no answer for Jamal Murray. You know what I mean? Like, hear that again. The Lakers have no answer for Jamal Murray. This kid starts getting hot. The comeback run started middle of the third, 4:44 mark. You start seeing them starting to make the push. You start seeing things starting to come together. Then all of a sudden, Jamal Murray got hot. He started doing it again. Middle of the fourth quarter. Now they can't stop him. And I mean, I don't even think y'all realize the Nuggets shot horribly from three in this game. That's why they were down by 20 points. They couldn't hit shots. And then when the Lakers needed the defense to be impactful, they folded like wet napkins. I mean, to give you an idea, at the 4-minute mark, when Jamal Murray starts getting hot and the game starts changing in the Nuggets' favor, at that point, at the last 9 minutes and 7 seconds up to that point, the Nuggets were on a 21-11 run. It's not enough, LA. You're going tit for tat. You're matching their energy. You don't have the requisite horses on that bench. And you need another body to help AD and LeBron, and it's just not there. That being said, Jokic 27, 20, and 10. I mean, what more can I say, man? This dude's he the MVP for a reason. Man. And shout out to Jamal Murray for hitting that game winner. He's just consistently solidifying his playoff legacy with this team, showing how impactful he's been, showing how crucial he's been, showing that his injuries have derailed them, and they probably would have been further along had he not been injured, but timing is everything. And again, shout out to the Nuggets and Lakers. It's getting rough, man. It's getting rough. You've matched that energy 2 times now. And this is a bad D'Angelo Russell performance, a good one. This is AD and LeBron showing up both games. This is your bench still not showing up. And, it's going to be the difference in the series. I'm interested to see what happens when the Lakers bench shows up, if it'll make a difference. Because I'm honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it will at this point. But with all that being said, we are now going into one of my favorite segments, the segment so far of the spring, the hottest segment of this spring. 32 teams in 13 days, and let's just not even bullshit ourselves, guys. We are 2 days away from the draft, and it just feels like it just flew by. I mean, like I said, I'm happy. I'm ecstatic, looking forward to this. I've been doing a lot of work, and as you know, you guys have been following along with me, and thank you for, tagging along with me and just watching everything and just watching the progress of this, because it's been a lot of work. But the deep dives have been helping, the reviews have been helping, and it's been helping give you, you and I both an extra insight on some of these teams. With that being said, we're going to touch on the Los Angeles Rams. The 10-7 made the playoffs again, Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are in a bit of a tricky situation for me. Offensively, they're there. Offensively, Kyron Williams stepped up in the running game. Puka Nacua, 6th-round pick from a year ago, stepped up. They got Cooper Kupp. Even him being back healthy in any semblance of form is a great plus for their offense. Their offense is fine. I'm not worried about how Sean McVay can scheme up points for this offense. What is a major red light and major concern is their defense. And I'll touch on that briefly. Sean McVay returning as head coach. Offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur, former offensive coordinator for the Jets, obviously brother of Matt LaFleur, the head coach of the Packers. Defensive coordinator, very interesting here. As all of you know, as I touched on previously, and as you probably have already seen this offseason, Raheem Morris, former defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and they now have Chris Shula replacing them. I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I hear Shula, my brain automatically goes to offense. I think of Don Shula, Mike Shula. My mind automatically goes to offense. Maybe Chris Shula does know defense. If you're a Rams fan, you have to be worried. You have to be worried a bit. Raheem Morris got the most out of his defense last year, and y'all struggled mightily. And now you have a new defensive coordinator and there's no Aaron Donald. And you still, it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. I'm very interested to see defensively what adjustments, how they change their scheme, what type of format they run, what type of personnel sets they run. Because, being quite honest with you, Chris Shula, family name, but still fairly new in this game, hasn't really cut his teeth yet. So GM Les Snead, Mr. F them picks, has been collecting them picks the past couple years because, he realized, it's cool to say F them picks when you're trying to win a championship, but you need this to replenish your roster, and he's been doing a great job of it. Past couple of drafts have been tremendous for the Rams. They have 11 picks going into this draft, 2 third-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, and 4 sixth-round picks, which, some of those are through compensatory picks. It's just going to be, like I said, it's going to be very interesting because they're going to have to address definitely defense. Looking at their defensive stats, 19th in defense, not good. 20th in yards, not good. 18th on third down, bad. 22nd on fourth down, horrible. And 15th in the red zone. So, it just means you can't really stop anybody. And it's one of those things where I've always kind of wondered with Sean McVay because, as long as he had Raheem Morris there, he had a guy that could run the defense. All he had to do was worry about the offense. I don't think he's going to have that liberty this year. I think he's going to have to really focus somewhat on the defense and pay attention to what's going on there because they were just downright bad last year. The cornerback play was bad. Defensive line play, shout out to Kobe Turner, shout out to Byron Young. They showed up. Kobe Turner had 9 sacks. Byron Young had 8. You want that out of your young guys. You definitely want to see that. That being said, keep this in mind. There's no more Aaron Donald. And he was your 3rd leading sack getter. Where's that production coming from? And again, new chapter for the Rams without Aaron Donald. This defense, again, I keep, harking on this. They struggled mightily with him. And now he's not there. And people are just like, well, they're going to be fine because, they knew he was retiring. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Dire Eagles fan here. Jason Kelsey's gone. I expect there to be some bumps. Cam Jurgens, he's been there for 2 years. He's been a part of the learning curve. I expect there to be some bumps. So if you're telling me that there's not going to be any bumps and you've lost Aaron Donald, and I'm telling you that he was your 3rd leading sack getter and you had 2 guys, 1 Kobe Turner, 1 Byron Young, 9 and 8 sacks respectively, they're going to have to address this position clearly in the draft. Defensive tackle and defensive end are going to be areas of need that the Rams are going to have to place at the utmost priority on their draft board list. As I stated, cornerback is a position of need. 10 interceptions. It's just, 76 passes defended. That's not enough in today's NFL. You're not striking fear in anyone. That is literally telling, those stats scream throw on us. By all means, throw on us. We can't stop the 5-yard slant. Hell, we can't stop the 50-yard bomb. Throw on us. So I definitely feel like the Rams are going to have to address that defensive issue. There's been a ton of them, for the past couple of years since they won the Super Bowl. They've hemorrhaged players, had to get rid of Ramsey's, lost Leonard Floyd's, Donald just retired. Bobby Wagner gave him a big contract, kind of let him go. Didn't know really what was up with that. Maybe he underperformed to their standards, but they're going to have to definitely address this defense because it's definitely the albatross that's holding this team back from being one of the top echelon NFC teams. Can Cooper Kupp rebound? Now, interesting enough, he talked about this. That he feels like he can get back to that 2021 form. He mentions this. I read this article myself on Pro Football Talk. I believe it was about 2-3 days ago. Don't quote me. I want to say it's probably max 2 days ago. I don't know if people realize, I hear athletes say this a lot. You get older, you don't get younger. I know the analogy of what he means. If he shows that type of replication in stats or close to it, they're going to be great. And I agree. If Cooper Kupp does that, they're possibly a 12-win team this year. Having said that, we don't go back to what we were. We degrade from what once was. Not saying he's going to be a fall-off candidate this year in any stretch of the form. I like Cooper Kupp a lot. I think he's one of the best receivers in football. He's definitely a top 10 receiver. Having said that, though, Puka Nacua is going to be getting touches too. So I don't see Cooper Kupp having that 120 catch or 110 catch, type seasons that we are accustomed to seeing from him. So very interested to see how they continue to divide the football up on offense. The draft will be huge again for this team. Defense, it goes without saying. 11 picks for a reason. It used to be F them picks. Now it's please send us more of them damn picks. So That being said, looking at the free agency arrivals and departures, very interesting free agency. I have to be honest. I'm not really. I'm happy that they made the acquisitions that they made because yes, they did need to address positions within the team. In the offseason prior to the draft. That being said, Tre'Davious White coming off a torn ACL. Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I don't care who you are. That strikes confidence in no one. I get it. He's going to be behind Sean McVay. He's going to have a better team than what he had in Las Vegas. Keep this in mind. The Niners let him go. The Raiders at the end of last year, after he's injured, after he is out, they go 5-4. So you tell me what the issue is in that regard. Darius Williams, cornerback from Jacksonville, also arrived. Cameron Curl, safety from Washington Commanders, is there. Good young safety. He's definitely going to help on that back end. That's definitely going to help with that interception total and the pass deflections. Jonah Jackson, guard from the Lions, has arrived. A huge addition to this offense. The offensive line was starting to lose guys. Since Andre Whitworth had retired, there was just holes and positions that need to be filled. Shout out to the Rams for actually addressing this need. Jonah Jackson's a guy they can plug and play. He's going to be great for him. And also re-signing Kevin Dotson. Again, just harping back on that line. These are things that the Rams realize. You have an older quarterback. Matt Stafford, he's several big hits away from being out of the game. And you need to keep him upright. So all these moves are crucial. And you definitely see where the Rams are trying to go as far as this year with the offense and what they want to do. They feel like they can spread you out. And as long as Stafford's healthy, and even if he has to miss a game or two, as long as Garoppolo's abreast of the offense, this offense is going to still be a top 10 offense. Having said that, to address their departures, not many. You had Coleman Shelton, safety Jordan Fuller, he departed. Jonah Williams, defensive lineman, he departed. And Carson Wentz, former first-round pick of the Eagles and former Colts quarterback, he departed as well. So not a lot of departures. Very precarious free agent signings. Guys with injury history, some guys that have been proven, definitely offensive linemen. Which just leads me to believe that they're going to make major additions in the draft. They're going to probably use all of the 11 of those picks if they don't trade a pair of them, one or two at the most. Having said all that, going into the top 30 visits, this is going to be funny, guys. First that you're going to hear from me. Should have made this a poll question, honestly. How many top 30 visits did the Rams have? And that would be a whopping 0. Which lets me know that they kind of have an idea who they already want. A lot of these guys they spoke with either on their combines or pro days. I'll mention some names. Jalen Ford, outside linebacker from Texas. Audric Estime, running back from Notre Dame. Rome Odunze, wide receiver from Washington. Braylon Trice, defensive end. Carson Barnhart, defensive tackle. Roman Wilson from Michigan, wide receiver. Mike Sarenstill, Jalen Harrell, again, all good players, they're looking. It just lets you know that they know they need to address the defensive position. They need to address some outside linebacker positions. The defense needs to be addressed as a whole. Having said that, something I'm keeping my eye on, the only quarterback that's coming for a visit was Bo Nix. So, unless they see something that I don't see Bo Nix falling too far to where, the Rams are at, but possibly they give up one of those multiple picks, one of 11 picks up, if not 2 of 11, and move up to get the guy that they want. So we'll see. Having said that, this leads me into my next team. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the most awkward playoff teams I've witnessed in a long time, where you had a season where offensively you were just bankrupt of explosive plays, big chunk yardage, but yet because of grit, defense, running game, and determination, you stayed in it, you stayed there, and you fought hard, and you got to the playoffs. A testament to your coaching, testament to those players. So salute the Pittsburgh Steelers for that. Having said that, you have Mike Tomlin coming back as head coach. Tomlin's been there for over 10 years or 15 years now, going close to 20. Mike Tomlin's just been, model consistency. You know the line, y'all. The standard is a standard. New offensive coordinator alert. Out, Matt Canada, in Arthur Smith. I don't really know how to feel about this too much, y'all. Arthur Smith, any of you fantasy football lovers out there, any of you Falcons fans out there that watch, and, again, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. If you watch any of the Falcons football games in the past 2 years and saw Arthur Smith and how he draws up offense, I'm not sure that you really upgraded. I know, Arthur Smith has been known for his running game, his play action. Oh, he saved Ryan Tannehill. He resuscitated guys. Complete honesty. This offense is going to look possibly just as bad, maybe a little bit better than what they were, but you're not going to see too much of a glaring difference, for lack of better words. Offensively, they were ranked 28th, 25th in passing yards, 22nd on third down, 22nd on fourth down, and 27th in the red zone. These are horrible fucking offensive numbers. I cannot stress to you that the fact that they made the playoffs is a testament to that team and that coach. So having said that, defensively, they've been on point. They're 6th on defense, 21st in yards, which is definitely something they're going to have to highlight and address. 22nd on third down, definitely something they're going to have to highlight and address. But what was startling to me, they were 5th in the NFL in red zone percentage. So defensively, they need to get better, but they're doing a lot. They carried the team. I mean, I don't even know if y'all understand what I'm saying. Without the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they win probably 4 games. So I give all credit to them, but more is going to be required for them to win the games they need to beat the Buffaloes, the Kansas Cities, the Baltimores. More would just necessarily be required. Having said that, they got returning coordinator Terrell Austin coming back, GM Omar Khan. $11 million in cap space for the boys. You got to give the Steelers props. They definitely know how to manage the budget. And 7 draft picks this year. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how they address a lot of these needs. We have new faces in new places, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I'm very keen to see who will end the season the starter. I tend to think Russell will start the starter, but he will not end the starter. Just my honest opinion. And again, I've kind of loosely touched on this earlier. Will the offense be substantially better with Arthur Smith in there in, comparison to Matt Canada? Because it just seemed like to me Matt Canada didn't really know what he was doing, and he scheduled like it. Or he, game plan like it. And it floored me that the offense could look that inept in today's NFL, where a passing game and a quarterback that you took high could look that bad. And it's not just because he's playing mediocre football. It's because you just suck at play calling. So, very interesting to see. Cornerback is definitely going to be a position of need for this team. Wide receiver is a low-key position of need, i.e. trading Deontay Johnson, as I stated earlier, when they traded him to the Panthers. And can the O-line stay healthy? Wide receiver and O-line has been places where they get guys that produce is phenomenal. If the guys can't produce, they're just bodies that take up space for 3 or 4 years and then poof, be gone. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they address these needs. Like I said, corner, wide receiver, and O-line are definitely positions and needs that they're going to have to address for the Steelers to, get to that next level where they can make the second round of playoffs or further. Having said all that, addressing the free agency tracker, their arrivals. Russell Wilson, obviously biggest arrival they had. Patrick Queen will go down probably as the best low-key signing this year. Middle linebacker for the Ravens, now a Steelers, so that rivalry will be intensified by $1 billion. Very interested to see how that goes. Justin Fields, as you know, has stated his arrival as well. Dante Jackson, cornerback, longtime cornerback, he arrived. Also, another one that I'm very keen to pay attention to is Deshaun Elliott. Past couple years, he played with the Dolphins, Lions fame. He's there now, so it's going to be very interesting to see that. Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins of Eagles fame or Eagles lore or Eagles horror or, however you want to term it. But, now Quez Watkins is there as well. And also Cordell Patterson. I got to give Cordell Patterson credit, man. This guy was supposed to come out as a highly touted wide receiver, and he's shown since Ole Miss, I'm a kick returner. I can do whatever you need me to do in between them lines, in the kick return duties, but I can't do all that extra. And he's definitely carved a nice niche out for himself, a nice career, and just shout out to Cordell Patterson, man, and just keep doing what you're doing, man, and, sky's the limit for him. Looking at the departures for the Steelers, Quan Alexander, low-key, a little bit of a loss, not really much, he's just a body at this point. Miles Boykin, Marcus Golden has been released. Blake Martinez has been released. Keanu Neal, and also Patrick Peterson to round out that list. Oh, and I cannot forget Allen Robinson, Mitchell Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph as well were let go. I.e. the reason why, they're still looking for a backup quarterback, why they brought in Justin Fields, they say. I tend to seem to believe that they brought in both because they wanted to get both a tryout, and, they're going to see which guy prevails and takes the reins, and who can carry it just in case that guy gets injured. Because both these guys have suffered with injuries. So make no mistake, it's not like Russell Wilson is impeccable and impervious to injury and Justin Fields just keeps getting injured. No, it's relatively the same. So as I say, that'll be very interesting to see how they address that going forward, especially with their additions and departures. Top 30 visits. I must give this team credit. Pittsburgh is one of them teams where they leave no stone unturned. They literally review and sit with everybody. They talk to all 30 prospects, guys. I mean, I've been sitting here all day telling you every single person, verbatim, but just a couple guys off the top of my head that I know that were news and notes. They brought in, if I'm counting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 wide receivers in for looks. We're talking Lad McConkey all the way down to Ricky Pearsall, down all the way to Luke McCaffrey at Rice. So I definitely feel like they're going to adjust the wide receiver position without a doubt. It's definitely something that's going to need to be touched. Cooper DeJean has been in for a visit. Max Melton, corner from Rutgers, has been in for a visit. Also, Nate Wiggins from Clemson has been in for a visit. I even see that here Andrew Phillips from Kentucky has been in for a visit. So they're definitely trying to address that corner position. They know it's a need. It seems like they're definitely want to address the offensive line position. You got Tyler Guyton in from Oklahoma, offensive tackle. You also had Amarius Mims. You can see it, guys. They like Samalu in that left guard spot. They're comfortable with their guards. Their tackles they're not comfortable with. They got to secure those edges. So be that as it may, I completely understand. And they also brought in the last 2 names of keen interest. Matt Goncalves, tackle from Pitt. So he was, not too far within the same vicinity. And also Xavier Leggett, wide receiver from South Carolina. So it's very interesting to see how these teams are going to address the drafts and, leading up to it, what they prepare to do. As we draw closer and the days get closer leading up to draft night, which will be Thursday night, as I told you, I'll be doing a live stream, a live show after the draft, discussing the picks and my personal opinion, if I thought it would be good picks or not. Having said that, we're going to round up episode 8 here. And I forgot to even mention, damn, it's been going by fast, y'all. We're already at episode 8. And again, I just want to thank you guys for watching, like, sharing, subscribing, and listening. It's been tremendous. And episode 9 tomorrow, we'll be touching on my Philadelphia Eagles, the Cleveland Browns, the Dallas Cowboys, and as well as the Green Bay Packers. And we'll also be reviewing some of the NBA playoff coverage, touching up on those games as well. And again, thank you for wherever you may be listening. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great day.